Chesterfield.
This is CBS 6 This Morning Weekend.
We have sprung forward, and it's techno time over at the Diamond. Now we wait as the first day of spring is, well, about 2 weeks away. And with this beautiful look at the Diamond, we're getting a little ants in our pants in the Parney printed pants for the start of the squirrel season on Friday, April 4th. We know, in discussing and talking with Parney over the last couple of weeks, he's getting real excited.
Yeah.
It is the last opening day at the Diamond, Mike.
Yes, that's just a matter of weeks coming up. And you saw Big Top there. The Do Portugal Circus is in town until I think it's the 16th.
Great.
So lots of activities here locally.
Yeah, and it's going to feel like baseball weather.
Yeah, you know what? Yesterday got up to around 60. Today will be kind of in that similar ballpark. See what I did there?
Hey-o!
But we have some warmer days ahead for this week. And, last week we had the big severe weather Wednesday and that really heavy rain. We have little to no rain chances for a good chunk of the week ahead. Just some cloudiness coming in from the west, and that's going to mix with the sunshine during the day today. Today's sunrise, thanks to the clock changes at 7:29, but we get that time at the end of the day. 11 minutes past 7 o'clock. That is our sunset. Temperatures are currently in the mid to upper 20s and low 30s, so it is a little chilly outside this morning, and these temperatures down a decent amount from this point yesterday. There's a little bit of a breeze, but it's not too strong, so there's not too much of an additional wind chill, but in some areas it feels a few degrees colder than the actual air temperature. There's a system here off to our south and west that's going to continue to send some clouds in from time to time today. There will be some thicker moisture farther south, and there will be some rain moving across North Carolina as we go across the next 24 hours. We're not going to have to worry about that. We'll just have intervals of clouds and sunshine today. High temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s, and the winds will be out of the southwest and may get a smidge above 15 miles an hour for an hour or two this afternoon. But once we get that rain passing to our south tomorrow, warmer air is going to start working in for the week ahead. We'll talk about how toasty it'll be shortly. Greg?
Michael, thanks so much. Some breaking news here in the newsroom. Firefighters working quickly to put out flames in a house on the 1800 block of 3rd Avenue in the city. The call came in about 4:40 this morning. Richmond Fire saying they saw fire and smoke from the roof and second floor of the home. Just after 5 a.m., firefighters say the conditions were dramatically improved and only some smoke remained as they looked for some hot spots in the house. Searches did not find anyone inside. The fire was marked under control at 5:07. One woman is dead, 2 Chesterfield police officers and a Richmond firefighter with minor injuries after a house fire on Richwine Road in the city on Saturday. Our neighbors telling our John Burkett it was all hands on deck to try to rescue the woman from her burning home, which was in Chesterfield.
It was chaotic. It was just a chaotic scene.
Firefighters get a call at 12:27 Saturday afternoon for a house on fire on Richwine Road. With smoke and flames showing, police were first to arrive on scene and ran inside trying to make a rescue.
Everybody came together. I know one of the neighbors grabbed a hose and was trying to help. I didn't even know what was going on until I came out later.
Tragically, the woman didn't make it out.
Right near the front door.
Captain Joe Harvey is a Chesterfield County fire marshal. He says fire investigators are in the early stages trying to determine a cause, but says the fatal fire is a reminder for all families across our viewing area.
Beg people to do that tonight. Take time, get your kids involved. Make it a fire safety lesson at home. Test your smoke detectors, clean them, vacuum them out with a vacuum so that the sensors are clean, and then replace those batteries tonight before you go to bed when you spring your clocks forward.
2 Chesterfield police officers and a Richmond firefighter on mutual aid were taken to a nearby hospital to be treated for minor, non-life-threatening injuries. Randy Ferguson lives next door.
They asked me for water bottles for the police officers that apparently got smoke inhalation.
Crews spend hours on scene checking for hot spots like the cloud of smoke Saturday afternoon. Sadness hovers over this North Chesterfield community.
Talked to the neighbors and they said that their mother passed. It was sad. They were good people as far as I know. We're great neighbors.
That was John Burkett reporting. 7:03 right now. A special and solemn honor for a Henrico native, 81 years after losing his brother in World War II. 101-year-old Alfred Hunter was recognized as a Gold Star family member during a recent ceremony. Alfred is the younger brother and last surviving family member of U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Robert H. Hunter. The elder Hunter was killed in action during World War II in Normandy, France in 1944. U.S. Representative Rob Whitman recognized Alfred with the Gold Star. The ceremony took place at the Defense Supply Center of Richmond, the same place where Alfred worked on a forklift as a teen during the war. Alfred eventually followed his brother into the military. The late Staff Sergeant Hunter's name is enshrined at the Virginia War Memorial. Hey, it's a furry event to honor four-legged dedicated friends who serve alongside the men and women in uniform. Maggie Marshall takes us to the .9 Canine Dog Walk at the Virginia War Memorial and shows us how these pups are being recognized in the spotlight.
Patriotic pups and dogs in uniform gathered on the grounds of the Virginia War Memorial Saturday morning. These pups had a purpose far beyond sitting in the sunshine. Their owners brought them to the memorial's .9 Canine Veterans Day Dog Walk. It's an event designed to honor all canines who have contributed and sacrificed their life in the military and law enforcement.
The canines are the first line of defense at any installation, whether it's on United States soil or if it's in a foreign land somewhere. They are the first line of defense.
Bob Mays was a handler in Vietnam to his canine named Atlas. He came to the event to pay his respects to his partner who passed and share their story.
Best friend ever. He was a wonderful companion. We had a lot of good moments just playing together, eating together, sharing the same poncho undercover when it was monsoon season.
The pair were exposed to challenging conditions on the front line.
They were a lot of company. A whole lot of company. We didn't have nobody else around us until we got back to the kennels.
Handlers and their canines like him were known to develop long and short-term health issues because of being the first line of defense. Some developed PTSD, chronic hearing loss, and were exposed to Agent Orange.
You have to become bonded. The dog knows you and you know the dog, and you learn all of his senses and alerts.
Participants and their pups got to learn from May and be exposed to more facts about famous military service dogs throughout American history on markers on the course. While the walk may have just been another Saturday stroll for the pups, it had a far greater goal for humans.
The love of their pets and have a better understanding of what the military and the dog handlers actually do, whether it's in the civilian police force or in the military.
In Richmond, Maggie Marshall, CBS 6 News.
A lucky afternoon for some folks at Stony Point Fashion Park in the city. Ahead of St. Patrick's Day later this month, a special event was held featuring a whole lot of green. Shamrockin' at Stony Point kicked off at 11 and saw a pretty big turnout with families from across the area. The event featured live music, balloon art, face painting, themed crafts, and so much more, and activities for all ages. There were also specialty green drinks from on-site restaurants, but really the most anticipated part, leprechaun goat yoga.
And then we're also having leprechaun goat yoga, so there will be goats dressed as leprechauns. So we're really ready to just celebrate St. Patty's and kick it off with this great weather.
Organizers say goat yoga is perfect for bringing happiness, stress relief, and plenty of photo opportunities. As for St. Patrick's Day itself, that is happening on March 17th. 7:07 right now. We would like to say hello to one of our biggest and best dressed fans who watches CBS 6 weekend mornings religiously. I want you to meet Mr. Dandridge from King William. I met Mr. Dandridge in Henrico while shopping recently. He stopped me in the aisle and he is looking sharp, looking really good. Mr. Dandridge was in Henrico visiting relatives, and Mr. Dandridge says he never misses a show and that, Mike, we make him laugh day in and day out. So, Mr. Dandridge, keep looking good, and thank you so much for watching. We love you. And I'll tell you, Mike, we could get some style points from that man right there.
He looks really good in a hat.
Right?
We were kind of joking during the commercial, that's an awesome name. Like in England, that'd be a good name for a dog. You know, it's like, have you walked Mr. Dandridge today? Did you feed Mr. Dandridge? I just love that name.
Well, he is looking good, and we got a big fan, too, a well-dressed fan.
We appreciate that, sending our love to him. You know what? We have a little bit of cloudiness outside right now. I'll kind of have this off and on during the day to mix in with the sun. It's going to be a pretty decent day, and we're going to warm up for this week coming up, and we'll talk about that after the break.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. Lady Liberty from a unique perspective, standing tall in New Jersey Harbor, close to New York Harbor. Since 1886, would you look at that? Man, oh man, that is one gorgeous sight. Mike stands tall every single day. He's been standing tall since what, 1946?
I was 6 feet tall in first grade.
One.
Well, some fishermen in New Zealand get an unexpected hitchhiker on their boat. Would you look at this? A young dolphin weighing more than 900 pounds crash landed on their 16-foot vessel. The fishermen say the 11-foot dolphin's landing severely damaged the bow. One man suffered some minor injuries as well.
Dolphin was too heavy for them to move back into the water as they clung to the side of their damaged boat, so they made their way back to shore, alerting New Zealand's conservation agency to assist. Helpers named the 2 to 3-year-old dolphin Tohu, which means sign in the Maori tribe language, and released it back into the ocean using a tractor. That's how heavy the boy was. And those fishermen have also renamed their boat Tohu as well.
Good on those fishermen, man. Talk about catch and release right there, huh? 900 pounds, doing the right thing.
Yes, and maybe the dolphin was tired and just wanted to ride.
He's like, I kind of like this.
Yeah, you see, you go on YouTube and you watch some of that stuff. It's just like these little like sea lions and stuff just like jump on boats. They're just like, you know what? I'm going to have you do my little paddling for me for a while.
He gets back into the pod. It's like, Frank, where have you been?
Man, the story I could tell. I just went hundreds of miles.
You're not going to believe. The boat was this big.
Well, you know, we had the big clock change.
Oh, yeah.
So this morning, sunrise is at 7:29, and today's sunset is at 11 minutes past 7 o'clock.
Look at this classic old one, huh?
I know.
Just like us.
Classic, that means old. We have clouds working across the area now to mix in with the emerging daylight. We'll have that mix in with the sun occasionally today. The current temperature at the airport's 32 degrees. The winds are out of the south of the 6, making it feel more like 26 degrees. Other area temperatures now 28 in Chester, 26 in West Point, 28 in Wakefield. But we have some warmer temperatures in some areas as well. We have some low and mid to upper 30s in some spots. As we widen the picture, you can see we don't have any real big Arctic air anywhere nearby, but we don't have anything extremely warm nearby either. But keep in mind, our normal low this time of year is in the mid 30s. So some of these milder temperatures from the south and west are going to work in over the next few days. But versus this time yesterday, we're down at least about 8 to 10 degrees, but there are some sections of our viewing area that are down at least about 15 degrees versus 24 hours ago. There's a little bit of moisture here to the south. Some of these radar returns not reaching the ground, especially the stuff in North Carolina. We're watching a system which is developing in the southern plains and Mississippi River Valley. That's going to track to our south into North Carolina tomorrow. It's just going to bring some extra clouds from time to time today into tomorrow as well. A little deck of clouds streaming on by now. And for our day today, skies will range from partly to mostly sunny. The clouds will break up occasionally, but we'll have some clouds off and on here and there. Mid-50s near the coast, upper 50s and low 60s elsewhere today. A few more clouds this evening and tonight. Tomorrow morning, not quite as cold. We'll be in the low to mid to upper 30s tomorrow. And for tomorrow afternoon, more clouds the farther south with temperatures around 60. More sun the farther north with highs in the mid to upper 60s. But there's that system tracking through North Carolina tomorrow. If you're traveling down that way, they will see some rain. Not much going on for the rest of the week. We're going to have a little bit of a backdoor cold front swing through the area on Wednesday, so our coastal communities will be a lot cooler. Can't rule out a sprinkle Thursday and Friday, and maybe a shower or two Saturday. But as of right now, it looks like our best chance of rain in kind of the medium range is going to be next Sunday. We have the potential for some showers and thunderstorms. But of course, we'll track that and talk more about it during the week ahead. 60 today, 65 tomorrow, 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But Wednesday again, near the coast is going to be about mid to upper 50s. So a big temperature range across the viewing area Wednesday. I'm going to talk more about that in our next half hour. Then warming up heading into next weekend with that slight rain chance on Saturday. Greg.
Loving the 70s, Mike. Thanks so much. A Virginia Tech tradition stretching through the generations. Meet the 5th graders working hard to learn Enter Sandman as they prepare to welcome Metallica to Blacksburg Lane Stadium in a few months. That in the 7 o'clock variation of, hey, watch this.
Right? For sure. He'll get right on that.
I hope so.
Our mics are open, so they can hear what we're saying.
If we only had a show of off air, would that be? Could we sell that?
Sergeant, have that removed.
7:18 right now. Time for the 7 a.m. edition of Hey, Watch This.
Hey, watch this. Pokemon memorabilia can fetch some wild prices, but this one tops them all.
Boy, oh boy, does it ever. It is a flaming hot Cheeto that resembles a character, nicknamed Cheetozard. Someone bought the spicy snack for, get ready, $87,840. It was discovered sometime between 2018 and 2022. And, you know, it's no joke. It's kind of like that banana that just sold for $6.3 million recently, and someone went up and ate it after. It's just crazy money, stupid money.
It is. This is coming from a man who bought Ed McMahon's custom-made dress shirt and suit at one point.
That's a great investment, by the way.
It was much cheaper than that, but still.
Came with his boxers, too. In Alaska, the 53rd annual Iditarod race is now underway, Mike.
Yes. In fact, due to low snow conditions, the world-famous long-distance race started from Fairbanks this year instead of the traditional Willow location. That change adds about 100 miles to the race for a total of over 1,100 miles to the finish line in Nome, and the dogs were thrilled. 33 mushers, their handlers, and hundreds of dogs are making their way towards the finish line. With 5 days behind them, the winning team is expected to finish the race in about 4 more days. So they're just a smidge more than halfway there.
Gosh, they look happy, though. They've got little booties on.
Yeah, and just remember, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes.
It's true. You know, and they're probably treated better than us.
Yeah. So we need to get a break. We need to take a nap.
You should see his booties.
No. Metallica will soon be coming to Blacksburg to play in Virginia Tech's Lane Stadium for the first time.
Unbelievable. The band's Enter Sandman has been a Virginia Tech football tradition for more than 20 years, rocking Hokie fans of all ages. Even the 5th graders in Kipps Elementary School's 3 o'clock band. The word of Metallica coming to Lane Stadium. Music teacher Glenn Chicolt knew there was one song his students had to learn this year, and they've been going at it full bore, trading in guitars for the marimba. The same riffs and thumping bass of Enter Sandman can be heard all throughout the school on Thursday afternoons.
We started this song in January, and after about 3 rehearsals, and our rehearsals are about 45 minutes apiece, the students really had it down.
Oh boy. Now that the 3 o'clock band has perfected Enter Sandman, they are gripping all of this stuff right now, the pillows tight, hoping that the real deal comes by to check out the song. Would that be fantastic? I mean, again, that song has been just a mainstay at football games at Lane Stadium for years and years and years, and now Metallica's coming.
That would be amazing. I remember when you were in grade school, you had to play 3 coins in a fountain, but that was a different era there, ladies and gentlemen.
That was in the 40s.
Do you know what actually sound good on that too? Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
Big fan of Neil Diamond, Mike Goldberg.
Good morning. This is casserole, the sweetest dish on the menu. A 2-year-old girl adoptable from the Richmond Animal League. This affectionate girl is all about the love. She adores pets and cuddles and will even stand up to get more scratches. Sometimes she gets so into it that her little tongue sticks out. Casserole is looking to be the star of the show in a home where she can soak up all the attention as the only pet. If you're interested in meeting her, please send an email to adopt@ral.org. I'm Mike Goldberg with this morning's Pause for Pets.
Thanks, Goldie. We will see you on the news this evening. There's a look from our Old Town Petersburg camera. Getting a little bit closer to sunrise, which is about 7 minutes away. And we have a mostly clear sky down there. Upper 20s and low 30s for most of us right now. A few spots a little bit warmer, but most of us kind of chilly. 64 today, 35 tonight, 65 tomorrow with more clouds, especially farther south you are. And then going into the middle part of the week, some highs in the 70s. Wednesday is going to be an interesting day. Low to mid 70s in the metro, mid 50s near the coast, and near 80 out by Danville. So it's going to be cooler east, warmer towards the west. And we'll stay pretty mild to warm heading into next weekend. Low chances of rain even through the end of this week. Looks like, though, we have a decent shot of some rain and some thunderstorms next Sunday. Greg.
Bracing those 70s, Michael. Thank you so much. At 7:23, you'll embrace this story. A big honor for Virginia's Special Olympics team. The Virginia Beach flag football team will represent Virginia on the national level. Go team! What they'll compete in and when. Morning, welcome back. It is 7:25 right now. A major honor happening next summer for Virginia Special Olympics team. The Virginia Beach Special Olympics flag football team. Get this, they have been selected to represent Team Virginia in the Special Olympics USA Games. The Commonwealth's team will head to Minnesota the summer of 2026 to compete. The inclusive team has players ranging from 21 to 62 years old. Special Olympics says the 2026 USA Games will bring together more than 4,000 athletes from all 50 states.
It's more to a game for them. It's inclusion. It's showing people, even though you have, special needs and so forth, you still can play this game.
100 athletes will represent Virginia across 10 different sports in the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games. By the way, the Virginia Special Olympics Summer Games this year are the first weekend in June in the Metro Richmond area. Research shows children involved in the performing arts are more likely to be recognized for academic achievement compared with their non-performing friends. That's why Louisa County Schools, they have been involved in a partnership for over 20 years. My buddy Rob Cardwell shows you how it works in his latest Building Better Minds.
Are y'all excited for the show? Y'all excited?
Welcome to the theater at Louisa High School, but it's a younger audience today.
What are you seeing today?
The Ugly Duckling.
Traditionally, we have an elementary performance, which is what's going on right now. This year, it's all of the third graders in Louisa County.
Many of these young students know the story.
It's basically like about a little duckling, and that it doesn't fit in with its family.
But they've never seen it. Not like this. The Louisa Rotary Club has been bringing the Barter Theater players out of Abingdon, Virginia to schools for the past 22 years. And today, they're not just actors, they're teachers.
Being able to bring theater to students this young, it's life-changing. It's the joy of all of our lives as well.
Oh, he is so ugly.
Most of the performers are in their 20s, and they're aspiring actors that are doing what they love.
For many of these students, it's the first play they've ever seen.
It's so fun to meet them where they're at, go to their schools and see them, and then they get to have this unfiltered reaction to theater for the first time.
Will every student leave here and get involved in theater?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Don't count on it.
It was really fun.
Yeah, but still.
No. Every student may not want to be an actor, but hopefully will want to use their voice in some type of way.
It's an introduction.
Hello, look who it is. Hello. U-T-L-Y, ugly. Hello.
And building a love of theater
Proof that I'm a duckling.
is building better minds.
Look at how he uses his legs. And how straight he holds himself. And how he glides.
This is CBS 6 This Morning Weekend.
A Virginia man diagnosed with ALS wants to keep his legacy alive. The artwork he is known for and what he says about the challenges he is now facing. Welcome back to this Sunday morning edition of CBS 6. It's feeling like 6:31 a.m., isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we had the clock switch.
Yeah, it happens though. But you know what? On the end of the day, the days seem longer when the sun sets after 7 o'clock.
I tell you what, I think we're going to do our best work, be fully awake in about 3 hours.
So tune in. We're not going to be on air, but.
No. You know, we're going to have a pretty decent day.
Okay,
Sunrise is at 7:29 this morning. That's how it looks downtown from our rooftop camera. And we'll take a look at a few other cameras there. That's how it looks in Petersburg, where there's the sun coming over the horizon. And over at Richmond International Airport, we have a mix of clouds and emerging sun right now. But I'm actually going to kind of scoot the camera to the right a little bit. And there's the sunrise out at the airport. So it's a nice looking morning. A few clouds just decorating the skies. That is about it right now. And we'll have the clouds mixing with the sun off and on during the day today. Temperatures right now are chilly. We have some 20s and low to mid 30s across the region versus this time yesterday. We're down anywhere from a handful of degrees to about 17 degrees colder in West Point. Some clouds are streaming in from the west. We're going to have that from time to time during the day today to mix with the sunshine. So it'll be kind of partly to mostly sunny off and on. And we'll see high temperatures today make it up to around 60 degrees. We'll have upper 50s and low 60s area-wide, some mid-50s near the coast. Tomorrow we jump up a little bit warmer and then it gets even warmer still for the rest of the week. And we'll talk about that in our 7-day forecast. Greg.
Okay, Mike, thanks so much. If you're near the Altria Theater the next couple evenings, you might notice some traffic congestion because of Moulin Rouge. Kristen has the details.
To you. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. As a reminder, Moulin Rouge, the musical at Altria Theater is happening, runs through Sunday, March 16th. Now, doors will be opening 1 hour prior to showtime. You can expect heavier than usual traffic, of course, before and after performance time near Monroe Park, the VCU area. If you're looking for parking decks nearby, they're 100% cashless, so you need to have your credit card or debit card. This is about a 1 mile walk. The parking deck that's across the street from the theater, that's the Main Street deck. The VCU West Carey Street deck, that's about an 8-minute walk, and that's hourly rate, so it only takes a credit card. Other traffic alerts to watch for. This begins on Monday. Continued maintenance will take place. Interstate 295 in the opposite direction. We're talking southbound, so we're going to change our arrow direction there. We're going to talk about that continued maintenance. So from 9 a.m. Monday till 6 a.m. Tuesday, that south left lane will be closed. Now, you've noticed the continued maintenance in the northbound direction. They will reopen that left lane on Wednesday, March 12th. I'm Kristen Lewis, CBS 6 Traffic.
7:34 right now. This time 2 months ago, the city of Richmond was in the thick of the water crisis. While life is back to normal for many, some businesses are still dealing with the impacts. Maggie Marshall checked back in with some of the restaurants we spoke to during the crisis to see how they are faring.
We were not covered for any loss.
It has been a really difficult 2 months.
Richmond restaurant owners are trying to recoup the funds lost from closing during January's citywide water system failure.
It's been devastating to our business.
It's been frustrating knowing that it's something that we did not cause, but we're paying for.
CBS 6 caught back up with the owners of Bookbinders and Philly Vegan. We interviewed them during the crisis when their business closed for a week because they did not have water and they were under a boil water advisory.
We don't have the ability to operate. It's pretty much impossible.
There's just no way whatsoever we can operate without boiling water.
Bookbinders says their total losses are over $100,000 from spoiled product and sales. Philly Vegan lost between $15,000 and $20,000. Both companies have not been successful with insurance claims. A copy of Bookbinders' insurance claim says it was denied because the damages happened from a situation that occurred off-site. It cites the city claiming the water failure occurred because of a power outage at the water treatment plant.
I did what was right. I was under the understanding that I had business interruption insurance. I don't know if the city didn't take responsibility for it, if we would have been covered.
Philly Vegan experienced something similar.
It's unexpected. It's tough, and not everybody insurance covers that. Ours didn't cover that when it came to this situation. Puts it all on us for something that we did not do.
The city is working to expand financial help. Richmond's Economic Development Authority added an additional $250,000 to the prior $250,000 of grant funding for businesses. The new grant will open next Friday. Businesses can apply for $5,000 grants through the Metropolitan Business League. While these businesses appreciate the effort, they believe the impacts from the city's failures are far greater.
It's a gesture of goodwill, but when you look at what's going on and how many businesses are impacted and how much the losses is, it's kind of a drop in a bucket.
It's wonderful to give cash to businesses, but I think if they could help resource some kind of possible class action against the insurance companies so we can get refunded.
In Richmond, Maggie Marshall, CBS 6 News.
It is 7:37 right now. For nearly 30 years, a Virginia man has been painting nose art from military planes, but since his ALS diagnosis, He's had to put down the paintbrush. Now he's focusing on his craft's history to keep the legacy alive. His name is Gary Velasco. His journey as a nose artist started in the late 90s when he was commissioned to restore the paint on a certain plane like that you see there. After that, he started to design custom hand-painted nose art for pilots all across the globe. However, his life changed when he was diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. After realizing his career would soon be coming to an end, he transitioned to be an air art historian.
So my arms are currently about 90% paralyzed. My painting days, were done. And that, really quite hasn't set in yet. I mean, I'm sort of in denial in that aspect. A lot of this history, especially in World War II, is not taught in schools anymore. So I want to preserve, that aspect of artwork, folk art, Americana folk art.
Oh, fascinating. Now, Velasco from Ruckersville sells merchandise with some of his most famous nose art paintings, hoping to keep this piece of American history alive, while also spreading awareness on ALS. If you're interested in Velasco's business, it's called the Fighting Colors Collection out in Ruckersville, Virginia. Hey, you can help CBS 6 support the rescue and rehabilitation of homeless animals at the 23rd Annual Dog Jog 5K and Block Party, March 22nd. Be sure to bring your four-legged friend to meet Zach, who's emceeing, and the iconic Walter the Weather Dog. You can also go to WTVR.com to register. Might be a nice day to get out there and walk the dog today there, Michael.
Dog jog. We have some emerging daylight outside. Yes. With the clock change, the sunrise is at 7:29, so about 10 minutes ago. A little chilly right now, but just like yesterday, we're going to be in the general neighborhood of 60 degrees today, but it's going to warm up a lot for the week ahead. We'll chat about that coming up next.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. We're going now to Pattaya, Thailand, where it is a cool 91 degrees there. Oh, man, we're not going to have 90s, but it's going to get a little warm. Mike's forecast after this. Do stay tuned.
Well, Severe Weather Awareness Week in Virginia starts tomorrow, and the statewide tornado drill is scheduled for Tuesday. This video shows the aftermath of severe weather that swept across the country 2 years ago. According to the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, this event refreshes, reminds, and educates about the seasonal threats from severe weather and how to avoid them. It's also a great time to make and practice your personal emergency plan.
Indeed. As for the statewide tornado drill, that is happening the morning of March 11th at 9:45. Put that in the calendar. And every day, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management is sharing ways to prepare and stay safe during severe weather. It's that knowledge is power, Michael.
It is, and it's good to have a plan in place, because if you don't and we have a tornado warning, you're kind of like, oh, what are we supposed to do? Yeah. But these are the topics that are coming out this week from the Department of Emergency Management and the National Weather Service. So watch versus warning tomorrow, Tuesday. That's the day of statewide tornado drill. I do want to point out, Tuesday will probably be cloud-free. So it's going to be a nice sunny day. So when the alert goes off for the drill, there's not going to be any confusion about whether it's real or not. Right. And then severe thunderstorms, flash flooding, and outdoor severe weather safety for the rest of the week.
Always keep ahead of that.
Yeah, so outside currently we have some sunshine. Sun's been up since 7:29 this morning now that we've done the clock change. So technically it's like 6:43 right now. At least that's how it feels. 57 is our normal high. We hit 60 yesterday. We should be around 60 today. A little bit warmer this week. Sunset tonight at 7:11. There's a plane taking off at RIC going right in front of the beautiful sunrise we got going on outside now. Temperatures are in the 20s and low 30s, and versus this time yesterday we're down quite a few degrees, but anywhere from about 5 degrees cooler in Charlottesville to about 16 degrees cooler in West Point and Ashland. There's a light breeze outside, so in a few areas we have a wind chill, a few degrees colder than the actual air temperature. And we have this deck of clouds coming in from the west. There's the front that came through yesterday. A little disturbance is going to ride along into our south and bring in some more cloud cover, more so later today, tonight, and tomorrow. There are some radar returns in North Carolina. A lot of that's not reaching the ground, but there will be some rain down there going into tomorrow. So for today, we'll have a mix of clouds and sun. sunshine, some clouds filling in from the west and southwest occasionally from time to time. And then here on Monday, you can watch the rain go to our south, near and south of Raleigh into the Outer Banks area of North Carolina. That pushes offshore later tomorrow, and we have some clear sky for Tuesday, so we're going to have a lot of sunshine that day. For today, some mid-50s near the coast, upper 50s and low 60s elsewhere. Lows tonight, a couple degrees warmer than they were this morning, about some low to mid-30s to around 40 degrees. Tomorrow, 50s near the coast, but some 60s elsewhere. Low 60s to the south, where we'll have a little bit more cloud cover, some mid-60s to the metro, some upper 60s north and west, where we'll have more sun tomorrow. And then going into Tuesday, away from the coast, we get near or above 70 degrees. And on Wednesday, a little backdoor cold front. It's called that way because usually the fronts come in from the west and the northwest. This one's going to come in from the north and east. So near the coast on Wednesday, mid-50s, a little bit inland, some 60s, a little bit farther inland, some low to mid-70s in the metro. Go way southwest of this where the front will not affect. We'll get close to about 80 degrees in Danville. So Wednesday, there's going to be a huge temperature range across the viewing area depending on where you are. We'll be in the 70s Thursday and Friday. We could have a sprinkle in a spot or two Thursday, Friday, but not a big enough chance to even put a chance of rain on the 7-day there. Slight chance of a shower or two next Saturday. And look at that, the high gets back up closer to 80 degrees, and it looks like we'll have a decent shot of some rain and some thunderstorms next Sunday. Greg.
Okay, Mike, we'll be watching. Thanks so much. It was an event he says was the honor of a lifetime. Coming up next in my I Have a Story segment, I speak to the Louisa County veteran who is reflecting on playing a part in a historic moment overseas. A Louisa County man is reflecting on a chapter in life when he was not only a witness to history, but an important part of it. In my extended version of I Have a Story, photographer Cole Pearson and I want to introduce you to the veteran who says the unexpected milestone still touches his heart more than 6 decades later.
I was born 2 miles from here, and I've lived here. With the exception of the time I was away in the military, I've lived here all my life.
Courthouse Square in Louisa County.
About 3 memorial services here a year.
A place Harvey Fleshman knows well.
It says in memory of all veterans, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Marines, U.S. Coast Guard.
The 85-year-old U.S. Navy veteran pays homage at the War Memorial on national holidays.
Dedicated November 11th, 2000.
Harvey's visits remind him of a time when he not only witnessed, but played a role in American history at another memorial far away.
It does, totally. It's a feeling that nothing else could do for you.
While stationed in Germany, the Louisa native is selected for a special mission.
1960.
An order from the higher-ups he never expects.
Told me to get my blues and my whites and all the gear I needed to go on temporary duty, and I said when, and he said it'll be tomorrow or the next day.
The 21-year-old joins a special team.
It was a 7-man firing squad.
Their mission? Represent the U.S. Armed Forces during opening ceremonies at 5 American military cemeteries across France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands.
Oh, it was very solemn, very solemn. You could hear a pin drop.
Crosses, standing silently, marked the final resting place of tens of thousands of American soldiers killed in action during World War II.
Every one of them was in pristine condition. I mean, it looked like the grass was cut with scissors and a comb.
The young soldiers at rest here never make it home, their families choosing to leave their loved ones in the countries they helped to liberate.
If you think about the camaraderie in the service, those guys were together right to the end. They died with their buddies.
Harvey Fleshman provides the 21-gun salute.
You just did what you had to do. It would come in a sequence of ready, aim, fire.
Moments captured in black and white.
This one is newspaper from Luxembourg, and it shows a different shot of the firing squad.
Harvey says he and his team strive for perfection.
it sends shock waves through you that'll stay with you forever.
Downtime between ceremonies is dedicated to rehearsing.
You know the importance of it. It's a show of the ultimate respect.
The weight of the moment not lost on the servicemen from Virginia, far from home.
The number of father and sons or brothers is tough. Of course, nobody was paying attention to us. They were waiting for the volley, so if there were tears, it didn't matter.
Waves of emotion wash over the young sailor.
Just, you couldn't keep tears from rolling.
Countless Dutch, French, and Belgian citizens attend the ceremonies.
Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts paraded on to the cemetery and placed American flags and Belgian.
To this day, the cemeteries are cared for by the American Battle Monuments Commission. Harvey says the soldiers who gave all deserve eternal care.
Because the rights and privileges you have here wouldn't exist had they not gone there and won the war.
Mementos and keepsakes.
This is Henry Chappelle.
Trigger a flood of recollections for this widower and father of two.
We were right in the middle.
Harvey's odyssey in the summer of 1960 lasts only 3 weeks.
The greatest one of my life.
But the memories still reverberate across the decades.
There's not any other honor that'll ever compare. It was part of doing my part. I wouldn't trade it.
Harvey Fleshman, a Navy veteran who not only witnessed American military history, but played a small role in it.
Presentation of floral tributes, benediction, volleys, and taps.
A duty he still holds close to his heart 65 years later.
It's an experience you never expect, and it's also one that's cherished, too.
For I Have a Story.
It's the greatest honor that I've ever had, for sure.
I'm Greg McQuaid, CBS 6 News.
After serving 6 years in the U.S. military, Harvey spent his career as a sheriff's deputy and working at the Department of Motor Vehicles. Thanks so much for sharing your story, Harvey. We'll be right back. Welcome back, 7:56. A favorite view of some local wildlife is about to make its return.
The Richmond Falcon Cam will go live again this week. The Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources say that the live feed will be up starting tomorrow. The video you see on your screen is the male falcon, who will be one of the stars of the show. The camera faces the nest box that is located atop the Riverfront Plaza building on East Bird Street. Learn more on the Department of Wildlife Resources website.
Kind of funny that it's on East Bird Street.
Yeah, Falcon Cam. Hey, I do want to mention one thing. We got a lot of emails after the show ended yesterday about people with their cars. It was all covered with like this grayish substance. Well, what happened was we had a little bit of a rain shower that came through Friday night before daybreak yesterday, and there's been some dust in the southwestern United States like Texas, New Mexico, and that got picked up by the upper air winds and it brought it into the cloud level, so the rain came through it. So it was kind of like a dirty rain, and it's kind of similar to communities that are near volcanoes and the volcanic ash goes in. So that's what it was. It was rain. It was just like dirty rain.
So if you see those long lines at the car wash, you know why today.
That's why. And hey, good car wash weather for the next few days. 60 today, 65 tomorrow. Then we have a bunch of 70s for the weekend. May not get any rain until next weekend.
Oh, that's a great forecast. Thanks so much for joining us. Remote Spring Forward.
Yes. It's technically still 6:57, but clock says it's 7:57. Bye.